So first we have Aspirant. Basically, welcome to 2xKO. Aspirant is the brand new rank for 2xKO. It just basically means you're brand new, you're here to learn, you're here to have fun, you're just a new seed. The biggest purpose of this rank is to have fun. That is all you need to know for this rank. The one tip I will give you is duo with a friend. That is literally the most fun in 2xKO you can ever have. Everybody I know says that they have way more fun playing with a friend than playing by themselves. So definitely play with a friend, and if you can, grab a duo and fight another duo as well. It just increases the fun that much more. So next we have Iron. The goal of this rank is going to also be have fun. What does that mean? I want you at this rank to start browsing characters. We have a small roster so far, but there's so many different kinds of personalities that you have, like Braum being big bodies, Ninetail Fox, fast mobile kind of characters, and we have like small fuzzy little characters that like to throw mushrooms at you and piss you off. There's so many different kind of characters, so at this stage it's all about finding the character that's right for you and not really sticking with them at first, but just seeing what's out there. Just have fun with the roster. Pick whoever you want, do whatever you have to do. Also, a tip for you in Iron, I want you to use what's called pulse combo. So if you're in character select here, you can press right trigger and you see the little pink icon that shows up at the top as I turn it on and off. This is what's called pulse combo, and all it is that it does auto combos for you. Meaning if you just mash a button, like just mash your X or square, whatever controller you're playing on, if you just mash it, you're going to get combos for you. You could do this and alternate it with basic mashing, which gives you like normal hits. So you can do it when you're mashing just one button, like how I'm doing right now. I'm just mashing square and it just gives you that basic combo. So you don't even need to worry about needing to master combos off rip or anything like that. And then if you mash triangle, you actually get this ender, which has a super. It uses your super for you, and I just mashed it. Same thing with circle. You do like your biggest combo that does meter. So at this stage, you're just going to turn on pulse combo and you're going to turn it on for quite a few ranks. This is how you're going to get into the game without needing to learn the crazy combos. So the next thing is going to be understanding concepts you enjoy. Find your way of having fun in fighting games. For a lot of people, that might just be doing like intense combos. So if you want to learn combos, then go ahead and learn them. But just know that you shouldn't feel forced to do that. The main point is to have fun. Is it mind games? Is it like outplaying your opponents? Do you want to outread them? Is it just being able to play with the teammate and then just calling your tag? These are the things that I'm talking about. Do you want to just zone and shoot your missiles all day? Do you want to like just keep your opponent away from you and run away all the time? Or do you want to just be aggressive and get in their face and start punching them and swinging? These are the things that are important for you to decide, not for you to pick what to do, but more so understand how you have fun, because this is going to be the backbone of your gameplay. If you're not having fun, especially at the higher ranks, you're going to hate the game, you're just going to complain, you're not going to do good, and it's just going to be a whole negative experience. So find your positive experience early, and then you're going to be sticking with it throughout every single rank. Lastly, at this rank, you can literally mash and get away with anything. There's so many people making mistakes that you don't even need to worry about much. So just have fun, mash away, and just keep in mind that over time you're going to start getting used to the buttons. Like, oh, if I press square, this attack is pretty fast, but if I press circle, this one's pretty slow. And then, oh wow, I could charge it. You're going to start learning things over time, so don't sweat any of the thing. There's a big break meter, there's a ton of super meter, you could call assists, and you could tag out and all this stuff. Don't worry about any of that. Just literally mash, have fun, have a good time. Just know that in the next rank you're going to start getting your experience and getting the feel of the game, and that's when you could really start leveling up. Okay, it's time for bronze. Bronze is about understanding the basics. So in bronze, this is all about understanding the mechanics of the game, not necessarily mastering them or even doing them, but just learning what they are. You need to know that every character has a partner. You can hold A or X if you're on PlayStation to tag out. You can switch tag them. You can also call them as an assist. So if I'm Vi, I can hold back and press A, and she shoots a missile. And she has another assist where she could throw down this trap, and this trap is just standing there. I could also interact with it and hit it towards him, and Jinx could also do that herself. And while they're calling assist, you could also press it again, and now Jinx is playing. This is a tag fighter. So understanding basic mechanics like that is really crucial to learning this game. The bars at the bottom are your super meter. You can use supers. Like Jinx has one of the best supers in the game. She has this long range beam, does a good amount of damage, and it locks people down. You could also shoot it in the air. Every character has something very unique about their supers, and that costs 1 meter. Every character also has a level 3 super, and they have like this whole full cinematic animation. It has something crazy that has to go with it, like a ton of damage or some kind of situation that they put their opponents in. If you're getting hit with combos, at the top you have what's called your break meter. Your partner comes in and breaks the combo for you, and it consumes the meter. And over time, as you can see, it starts filling up, and it takes a really long time for it to fill up. So you want to save it for key situations where you're going to get comboed and take a lot of damage, but you don't want to just preemptively do it. Things like this, it's important to note that your partner is the one that uses the break for you. So if I'm Vi and my partner is playing Jinx, I can't break myself. Jinx has to come in and do it for me. And then you could also tag out. Fuses are another important part of the game. A fuse basically alters the way your team is going to play. There's special perks that come with the fuse. If you play League of Legends, it's like your runes, like your main keystone rune. So 2x assist, for example, you can call an assist twice. Double down lets you use a super on top of your partner's super. Freestyle lets you tag into your partner and then tag back. So it goes for slimy mix-ups. And there's just a bunch of fuses that you can have in this game, and they're going to be adding more in the future. So just understanding that these fuses exist, and if you're bronze, I highly recommend just playing with double down. Even says recommended here, because it's so simple to just add a super on top of your super, and it's a nice way to get your partner out. But yeah, you don't need to master the fuses, just understand that all these fuses exist, and at some point you're going to touch them. Another basic concept is blocking. If you hold backwards, you'll block. So there's two kinds of blocking ways that you can do. The first one is low, the second one is high. So some moves only hit low if you're blocking low. So that's if you hold down and back at the same time, you'll block low. But as you can see, if I do that, his overhead move will hit me high. So I have to stand block by just holding back. But if you notice, if I just start stand blocking, he's gonna hit me low. So understanding where moves are coming from is really important. So this is all a part of defense. There's other mechanics, like if you're getting hit, your partner could come in and push them back. If you press forward and press X, you'll get a push block. And then you could also tag them off of that too. And now they could play. So there's a lot of mechanics in this game. There's a lot for you to do. So another thing to look at is wake up options. Meaning every time your opponent knocks you down like this, you have an option that you can do to get up, to try to recover from the situation. So right now I'm just neutral, I'm just standing up, right? But if I hold backwards, I could tech roll backwards and try to get out the situation. Same thing applies if I hold forward, I could tech roll towards them for a different situation. I could also wake up by holding one of my S buttons, and I'll do what's called a wake up attack. So if somebody's right on top of you, it's a get up attack, and it just kind of knocks them away from you. So there's so many different options that you can do, and it's really important. Same thing when you're recovering in the air. Another very important thing in this game is called parries. So you could spend 1 meter to stop your opponent's attack and counter them completely. And now it's your turn to play. So yeah, this is an insane thing to do. It's your turn now, and you could confirm after it. And as you can see, it takes 1 bar to do. So see, I just missed it, and now I'm at 0. So this is very important to time correctly. And the window is tight, so it takes practice. So in bronze, my biggest thing for you is you don't need to practice this off rip, although it'll be great if you start learning it now. I don't want to overwhelm you. The only thing that you need to know is that this exists. So if all of a sudden you're doing something and then they just stop you with the parry, or like they do that huge effect, now you know what just happened. And lastly, in bronze, I want you guys to go over to this learn tab. This is very important, especially for you starting off. I want you to complete this tutorial, the Blitzcrank one. If you click this, first off, by completing this, you get a ton of credits, especially the last one gives you 50. And then for the fuses, this is how you unlock your 2x assist, which is one of the best assists in the game, and then freestyle. You unlock fuses by doing this. When you're ready for combos, we have what's called advanced lessons. You should complete these as well. That's part of the tutorial. You don't totally need to do combo trials yet, but these are very good in order to get into the game. So for example, if I pick Timo, they have a bunch of different combo trials for you to just test run. And as you can see, I can't even do the expert one because I'm not a Timo player. So that's going to take a lot of time. But if you go into it, as you can see on the left, they just show you what you should do. So press light 3 times. Light, light, light. And it comboed and they reward you saying good job, go to the next one. So I want you guys in bronze to start doing these combo trials and understanding what your character does. Light, medium, heavy, S1. What does that even look like? Light, medium, heavy, S1. Cool, right? This is how you start learning your character. So to start your combo trials, only do the beginner ones. This is the absolute basic of the game. If you want to do intermediate, go for it. If you want to do all of them, go for it. But just know that beginner is the bare minimum that you should do right now. Okay, next we have silver. Now we're getting into the thick of the game. Silver is where you actually start learning the game. So at this rank, pulse combo is still fine to use. I actually do recommend it. Keep using pulse combo unless you're coming from fighting games and you already understand how the combo system works and all that good stuff. By all means, take it off. Go ahead and do your own combos. But for everyone else who's brand new, who's actually silver level, keep using your pulse combos because combos is not the important thing you should be learning at this game. And you're going to get a lot of wins even just with using pulse all the way until like gold. This is where I want you to start learning what training mode is. That's where I'm at right now. We're in training mode. You're fighting a dummy who is just standing there. They don't fight back and you can just practice your combos. So not only can you practice combos, but you could practice your defense. You could practice your offense by recording a bot. If you go to recording and hit record in one of these slots, you can press A and begin recording. Now I'm controlling Ari and I can just do whatever I want. And then when I hit playback, she's going to start mimicking exactly what I just recorded. So this is very important for you to start learning the game because when you deal with some nonsense, you want to learn how to deal with it in this lab. It's all muscle memory. And that's what you're going to start building at this rank. So also at this rank, I want you to start solidifying a main, meaning what are your characters and what's going to be your main fuses. There's so many combinations out there. And the important part is that you stick with something that you're willing to learn for the long term. If you want to get really good at this game, it's all about one-tricking certain teams. You can have up to 3 to 4 characters max, but don't go picking everybody under the sun. You're not going to learn that way. There's so many things to learn in this game, so by sticking with 1 or 2 characters and 1 fuse the entire time, you're going to be able to pick up all the little minute details about this game to let you figure it out better. Another thing that you should do in silver, maybe you could do it a little earlier, it's fine. You can do this whenever, to be honest. But you're going to look at the command list. So if you go to home and move list, it tells you what your character does. It tells you what button you have to do. When it says hold OK, that means you can hold the button. When it says air OK, that means you can perform the action in the air. It tells you on the right what it does and even gives you details, which it doesn't really do in other games. Maybe modern games like Street Fighter 6 and stuff, it tells you, but it even tells you like certain interactions like, oh, this will stun your opponent. This will knock them up. This causes a hard knockdown. It gives you those properties. So look at your character's moves. Go and see what their supers do. Every character has unique moves. I found out recently that Jinx has this slide if you just hold diagonal light, right? And her lights suck. Like this has no range, this has no range. So this is really good to start getting in. But I never would have found that out if I didn't read the command list. So look at the command list. Here's the most important part. You're going to start learning your neutral, your defense, and your offense. And you're going to start learning game plans. Every character has a special style that they do. Jinx, for example, she likes to run away and throw her traps. She likes to shoot her missiles and keep her distance. Meanwhile, Vi is the opposite, where she likes to get in your face. Find out what your character does and find out how you can execute that. So if somebody is zoning me out as I'm Vi, I'm not going to want to just sit here back and just holding block. I want to find a way to get in her face. What tools does she have to do that? Well, if you find out by watching my videos, you're going to see that she has this double dash. This double dash goes through projectiles and it goes through the character. So while you're full screen, you can use your double dash. You can use your regular dashes. You could chain dash. You learned this in the tutorial if you did it in bronze. And that's how you get in on your opponent. And then you can start comboing from there. You need a partner that could cover for your other partner's weaknesses. So if Vi can't get in, I'm just going to charge my punch, call Jinx in, and now Jinx could zone for me. Now it's a zoning war. And if they're trying to rush me down and Jinx can't deal with people up close, that's when I use Vi, right? So it's a balance. And because I'm using double down, I get these cool scenarios where I could combo off of each other's supers like this. So find your character's unique interactions and unique fuses to make it work for you. It's okay to mash at this level, but you're gonna want to start understanding what your goal is. So have a bread and butter. Like for example, when the round starts with Jinx, I love to jump and shoot this missile downwards because I avoid danger on the ground, and then I'm also catching anyone who's on the ground if they call assist. But at the same time, I'm actually calling Vi. So if I get the hit with Vi, this actually combos, and then I get a full combo. And then from here, I know I'm not going to kill, so I'm actually going to call Jinx and tag launch back, cover a trap, and now I have an unblockable situation. That's my main game plan in every game I do. And if I can't go forward, I have a plan B of jumping backwards and doing it. I could call Vi there, or I could stay away as Jinx depending on what the opponent does. So because I set my game plan up accordingly, I have options. Same thing if I'm playing Vi, right? Someone who gets in your face. I can use Jinx's missile as my cover. You saw how I was like running behind it? Simple game plan. But with Vi, what I normally do is dash behind them like this, and it's a cross up. Find your game plan with your character. Every single character in this game has some sauce. You just need to find it and continue to lab it, watch some videos on it. The biggest mistake I see in Silver that I want you to take note of is remember that you have assists. So many people fight like half the match without even using their assists, or more so just using it improperly as well, not knowing their distance. Just remember that you have a partner. You can swap out when you're taking damage. Look at your health bar. Is your health bar getting low? Switch out. I want you to use your assist. Use it often. You see every time Vi goes away on the top, you see the cooldown that's going down? She's already back up, ready to assist again. If you punish assists, they go away for longer. But if they get the hit and they're unscathed, which is usually the case in low elo, go ahead and use it again. And then you could tag them in if you want. Alright, so here we go. This is the most important rank of the entire video, in the entire game even. Gold. Gold is where the most players are going to be in or stuck at. Maybe not for season 0 because the LP gain is a little wonky. Like people are leveling up without even trying sometimes. So for moving forward, gold should be the standard because it's the standard for every game. Most players are in gold, and if you're in gold, you should feel proud of yourself in a way where you can play with other competent players. Gold is all about goal setting. It's all about having kind of like a basic understanding of the game, and you have a big decision to make. It's the red pill versus blue pill situation. Do you want to get better at the game, or do you want to just be casual? Either one is fine. Choice is yours. But it's important to set the goal even if you pick casual, because you don't want to get frustrated and end up quitting the game, which is what a lot of people are doing right now. They didn't set a goal beforehand, their expectations weren't matched, and now all of a sudden they're flustered and mad. Do not do that. Basically, if you want to just play casually, your goal should be maybe do my dailies, play with a friend, play up to 3 matches max, whatever it's gonna be, play like up to 1 hour, whatever it's gonna be. Set your goal and stick to it. Like, don't overextend on it, don't have too many expectations, just chill and have fun. If you do anything past that, like if you don't set a goal to get better and you're just like, oh, I'm a casual player, and you're over here playing ranked, get out of ranked, bro. Like, you're gonna get mad because you're gonna get stumped, and you're gonna be like, why am I dealing with all these people who know what they're doing, and that's why you're mad. Get out of ranked. That's the biggest problem I see. Play casuals if you're a casual. Now, if you want to get better, here are the tips to do that. I want you to start playing the game with pulse combo off. And you're also going to start labbing combos. So what does that look like? I already made my Vi combo guide, so go ahead and check that out when you're ready. I want you to start with knowing like whatever the auto combo gives you, I want you to try to start doing those. Start your combo trials. Do the advanced ones. Try to see if you can replicate that over and over. And all you have to do is just a simple goal. Do up to like 3 combos of the same one. So it could be something simple like, what if I do light, medium, heavy, minigun, and shoot a missile? I just did it. Light, medium, heavy, minigun, missile. Cool. I just did it. So now let's do it 3 times. And then maybe that's the extent of your combo. The biggest point of this is because this is going to build your muscle memory. All of the pro players that you see, everyone that you watch, everyone that you even play, They're not remembering these combos like, oh, I got a hit. What am I doing again? Oh yeah, I'm doing this. I'm not even thinking about it. This is a reaction. So that's what you're going to start building by just doing basic combos. Just light, medium, heavy, press the S1, press your S2, and then maybe add a super after. Keep it very simple, keep it very basic, and most characters could do this. So like with Vi, with her, you can mash S2 and you get this cool wall bounce. So I have that fully covered in my last video. Go check that out. Also in this rank, I want you to start labbing more, but I want you to start setting up drills specifically. If you're struggling against a certain character, I want you to go ahead and start labbing like what to do. Maybe it's just practicing parry. So if you go ahead and record, I can start beginning recording and I throw a Ari super. Now if I play it back, I can try to start parrying the Ari super and see how it goes. You know, right? Like, I don't know how many times I'm supposed to parry that, so this is where you learn it. I did it 3 times and I got hit. Maybe it's faster? Oh yeah, it is faster. I gotta just do it faster. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times? Start setting up drills like this and just figure it out. Watch videos on it and just keep improving over time. Whatever you're struggling with, even if it's something random, even if it's just a super, even if it's just parry practice, just combo practice, just start doing that. You can also start to turn on your settings here. So for example, I just turned on all of my settings here. If you go to display and turn a bunch of these on, you could turn on all of this stuff, and this is very overwhelming for a new player, which is why I didn't bring it up earlier. And quite honestly, I might not even bring it up now. You might want to do this in platinum, but just to give you an idea, you can see all the hit boxes and hurt boxes of your character. The green box is the throw range. If you see that little red box after I press a hit, that's my hit box. If my hit box collides with her hurt box, which is the blue, then they are getting hit. So as you can see, this stuff has like no range. You see how close I am? And this stuff still doesn't hit. Like, this is trash. This light button is trash, never press it. But anyway, as you can see, like my medium has an insane range. And so is my heavy. Just start messing with this stuff. You can also see the stats on the top, where you can also see the frame data of certain moves, how plus or minus you are on certain moves. So if I OTG them, you can see if it hits high, or if it hits low, or if it hits mid, which you can block anything mid by just holding back. All this data you get for free if you just sit here and lab it. A lot of people don't have patience with this stuff, so that's why I'm not bringing it to you. This is in 2025/2026, it's just better to just look it up, honestly. It's better to just look it up because somebody labbed it for you. They have the information there, you just have to find it. Some more notes that I want you to learn from this is I want you to have a solid understanding of mechanics of the game. I want you to have your main team picked. You don't have to master it, or even if you want to change in the future, I want you to have a good idea of who you're going to play by now. And you should also have a solid game plan. So if I'm Vi, I'm not just going to start running around flailing and mashing. I'm going to understand what my strong buttons are. Like, my lights are really good. Maybe I'm just going to dash up in light and light. Maybe I'm going to do my light, medium, heavy, call my sis, and dash to the other side. Try to confirm off of that. I have a game plan in mind. So start solidifying your game plan. What is it going to be? And then you could start practicing on it in platinum. So here, big common mistake that gold players aren't doing, because mostly they're using pulse combo, they're not using their meter. So people are sitting here with like 3 bars and just not using them, or just using them inaccurately. So I want you to start using your meter better, even if it's just for trying to parry or just finding key situations using double down to get the damage in. Use your meter more, because so many people are letting it go to waste. You're losing games this way. It's more about recognizing that it exists. Start learning matchups and counterplay. And you don't need to master anything, but just understand what people do. Like, Jinx is zoning. Vi wants to get in your face. Ari also wants to get in your face, but she also zones with her projectiles. Her projectiles are really awkward to deal with. Teemo is constantly running away throwing mushrooms, for example. Warwick is running at you and trying to get in your face. There's so many different play styles, so just understanding the matchups and what to do against certain situations is going to help you out. And this one is going to be the most important for gold, because it's going to carry you throughout the rest of the ranks. This is more than a 2x KO thing, but it's more of like a overall mental mindset. It's going to be adopt a winner's mindset. So if you notice in my streams how I have a W and L when I keep my score, but it actually says win and learn, That's because I don't take my losses as an actual loss. Every loss is actually a lesson learned on how you can improve. And if you win, then cool, you won, you can celebrate. This is the best way to not crash out over the game, and overall just have a good mindset, and people are just going to want to help you a lot more when you do this. There's a lesson in every single thing that you do in this game, and so just make sure to keep track of that. Do your VOD reviews, and that's going to help you improve at the game. So with this winner's mindset, this is going to be a chance for you to train your patience. If you have mental issues, this is the time to start working on that, because it only gets worse. If you're mad at the lower levels, this is the easy stuff to deal with. You're not going to be able to deal with this stuff in Diamond and Masters. It's only going to get harder because you're going to deal with people who've mastered this game and played it for so many hours more than you did. And lastly, keep trying the combo trials. See if you can do the intermediate ones. Like, this should already be complete. These should be easy for you. But try to see if you could do the advanced ones, and even take a look at the expert ones. You don't have to finish it for sure, but just take a look at it. See how you feel about it. See if you can do it. All right, Platinum. From here on out, we are turning Pulse Combo off. You kind of tested it in goals to see if you wanted it off or not, but by the time you hit this rank, it must be off. There's no way you are going to get free wins or let that slide in Platinum. Obviously, everyone's going to get their lucky games or two, but at this rank, you're going to deal with people who understand their combo routes, understand their game plans, and understand their mechanics possibly more than you do. So it's really time that you lock in. This is the time to grind. Everything that I said, start learning, start mastering, this is the rank where you really start to grind that stuff. If you haven't started your drills yet, now's the time to get started labbing with your drills. From here on out, I want you to start maximizing your fuse. Whatever fuse you've been picking, most likely it was double down. I want you to start figuring out the secret mechanics of those fuses, beginning the combo with this fuse in mind. And what I mean by that, I'll show you. So for example, I have double down here with Jinx and Vi. And so what this means is, if I shoot my beam, I can go ahead and chain Vi super on top of it. They each use their 1 meter, and I get a lot more damage from it. Jinx's also goes on cooldown, so that's what double down is. But there's a secret mechanic of double down that they don't tell you in this game, and it's called super tagging, or at least the community is calling it super tagging. By the way, I invented this. I called this out in my Alpha Lab video. Go give that a watch, because I predicted that it was going to be the meta. Nobody listened, and look, now everyone's running around doing it. If you call an assist and do your super, you see Vi's coming out, I can actually tag her while the super is going down. So if I set my opponent to block everything here, you can see that I could swap sides while the beam is active, and I could get this filthy mix up. This is insane. This is broken. All for 1 bar, I get a free neutral skip, meaning I get to just get my hit, I get my mix up, whatever I want to do. So this is very powerful. This is what I mean by starting to master your fuse. Understand that this exists and start to learn how to do it. All you have to do for this one specifically is call your assist, press super, and then tag them in. And there you go. You can start moving. Each fuse has their own special mechanics. Definitely go ahead and start learning how to maximize them. I also want you to start mastering your fundamentals from the previous ranks. I want you to learn advanced bread and butter combos. So in gold, I wanted you to start learning how to combo, right? So get your basics going. Turn the pulse combo off and try to start replicating that, right? But now I want you to learn a little bit more advanced combos to try to get your damage up. Instead of going for your wall bounces, this is more about, in Platinum, understanding how these mechanics work. You only get 1 wall bounce per combo. You get 1 ground bounce per combo. You get 1 tag launch per combo. So start maximizing all of these things while getting all the damage you can. So for example, if I'm Vi and I do my electric setup, and you don't have to learn electrics right now, by the way. I get a wall bounce right here, and then I could get a tag launch with Jinx, and then I could get a setup. I could put it down the trap, or I could do that and then call a super. I have so many options. But the important part is I set that all up with Vi, and it got my opponent to half health. Damage is going to start mattering here, so this is where you should start optimizing your combos. I also want you to start learning alternate combo routes and weird hit confirms. So let's say I'm Vi, right? And I almost have the opponent in the corner and I get a hit, and I do my regular punches here, right? They actually come out of the corner, and if I end my combo, now I'm mid-screen again. That's not what you want as Vi. So understanding in Platinum, like your win conditions, you want them to be in the corner when you're playing Vi. So instead, when I'm in this situation, instead of doing the rapid punches, maybe I can launch them and do one of these. Or maybe I can do one of these and do an assist combo and then continue it with Jinx. So Jinx could end up in a corner with her trap, right? This is a little more advanced, and you'd want to start learning that around like Emerald or Diamond level. But just getting used to different kinds of combos is really important. So what I mean by weird combos, you notice when I shoot the Jinx missile and I try to follow up, they get out of it. The lights don't hit. And that's just because this game is very weird and wonky. But you could also figure out ways to deal with it. So if you double tap your medium, Vi has this cool little slam down option that it's really good for getting opponents out the air. But if you're just spamming light or like heavy, you're not going to hit them. You could also do your air hits. So there's so many times where my opponents are jumping and then I'm over here like ready to follow up with my medium and then my S1 in the air. So that's what I mean by weird combo routes. Like start doing some cool confirms. Why I say that is because at top level, most people aren't going to get clean hits. They're not going to sit here, run up on you with a clean punch. Sometimes they do, but it's going to be off of like something very strange, because that's how the pros players are so good with their defense. That's how they're going to get their hits. They need to be ready to combo off of almost anything. I want you to learn mix-ups. Mix-ups are very important to getting the hit. If you go low and they start blocking you, you go high, they start blocking you, how are you actually going to get the hit? Mix-ups are when you switch it up from low, medium, high to grabbing them. If they're blocking too much, you start grabbing. If they're blocking too much on one side, can you go to the other side and get the hit? Can you get a charge punch and then dash in and out? These are mix-ups, and some characters have way better mix-ups than others. But this is where you're going to start learning what are your mix-ups for your character. And every single character has this. These are all mind games. So it's not a character-specific thing. It's a player-specific thing. An easy one with every character has an overhead. Just go low and then do that character's overhead. So with Jinx, for example, it's crouching light into crouching forward and heavy. So light into heavy. And if you get it, you could combo. With Vi, same thing. Whenever I do... like if I do this setup, the super tag setup, I dash into them, low, high, and then I could OTG in this super. This works every time. And by this rank, I want you to complete every combo trial your character has. I want you to play the expert one. I want you to grind it out. I want you to figure it out. You should know how to do this because other people of your rank are going to know how to do this. And if you didn't, it's okay. The combo trials don't signify anything to your growth. But just know that you should have the skill by now to be able to do all of these and repeat them as well. Alright, so now we're in Emerald, and the tips I have for Emerald are going to be very similar to Platinum. This is more about grinding and mastery. This is more about learning your game plan and flowcharts, but not just learning them, like expanding on them, really mastering and honing your skills. At this point in the game, things should start feeling second nature. I should be able to call upon you and be like, alright, give me your best mix setup. And I can go ahead and do all this and then mix them up on the ground, right? And this should be second nature. I shouldn't have to think about it. I just do it. I snap my finger and it's done. This is where you should be at in the game, because every time you play a match, you're not going to be thinking about your own tools anymore. You're going to be thinking about counterplay and your opponent's tools. This is the rank where you really start paying attention to your opponent, because everything for you is natural as breathing. Start maximizing your fuse as usual. You should be able to get even more setups, so you should be able to figure more things out. Like so in Platinum, for example, I showed you the whole super tag thing. You should learn what that is and figure that out. But in this rank, there's more ways for you to do it. Like that. So notice I did my super tag off of a push block. I'm starting to chain different masteries and skills together, different tech together to get certain situations. This is where you start learning that. Start chaining multiple things that you've learned together. Every opponent you fight should be a little harder to deal with. People are going to start mastering their game plans, and it's important for you to start looking up information on how to deal with it, or labbing how to deal with it. You're going to start seeing a lot more top tier characters, and they're going to be annoying. So all that we talked about at gold with your patience, that should still be applying. because if you decide to quit now, you're going to be frustrated and you're not going to want to play 2XKO anymore. So definitely work on your patience, lab things out, so that way you understand everything that's happening to you when things go wrong. I want you to keep labbing your defense, common defense and mix. You shouldn't be getting hit by stupid things anymore. You should be knowing a lot of micro mechanics in the game. Like for example, you noticed I just turned on the frame meter, and every time I jump, I'm actually -4. It actually takes 4 frames to jump in this game. So if you're holding back and you're trying to just jump away, this is actually unsafe if they time it correctly within those 4 frames. So if you know your opponent is just waking up, for example, and they're about to jump back, if you mash them, they're gonna get interrupted. Same thing with tech rolls. When you end the combo, they could tech out of it, out of the corner, for example. But you should know at this rank now that tech rolling is actually very punishable. So you notice I grabbed the roll, and it said punish on the bottom left. So this was a true combo. Like they couldn't do anything about it because they chose to tech roll it. So it's things like that that you're really going to start mastering here, and doing your combo routes and setups into these situations to force your opponent not to tech roll, for example, is going to be really important. If I'm Jinx, I get the hammer and set up my trap. I'm setting the bot to be able to tech to anything, for example. This is what you want to lab. So if I just do hammer, set up trap, I'm ready for anything. The key is you want to throw the trap and you want to back up. So if they tech roll, you could grab it. If they wake up a tap, you could block it. If they tech roll backwards, you'll be able to hit them with your medium. And if they don't do anything, or if they just stand still ready to tech, you could just come back forward and grab them. Or follow up with your low-high mix-up. Start mastering these strategies. These are good. Another thing that you're going to learn in Emerald specifically is how to break correctly. Every rank beforehand, you were just kind of using break to get out of combos, but now is the time where you actually want to start breaking with purpose. Start tracking your meter. Start using it more effectively, where you do utilize your break correctly early, but you might even get it in the same match, or you might utilize it multiple times in an entire set. Sometimes you would want to save it for Fury, so understanding when to save for Fury or when to break is going to be really important. I guess a tip for that is it's usually better to break and save your character, because not only do you get a tag, but it's always better to just have an assist available with you. You can use your fuse if you still have your partner, but if they're dead, then you can't. However, Fury is very strong and is used in high elo all the time to make comebacks. Definitely feel free to analyze which one works better for you. So overall, by focusing on defense in this elo, you're going to be able to, again, have a solid offense with muscle memory, but also focus on your opponent for strong defenses, which is going to make you an overall powerhouse when you get to Diamond. So overall, by focusing on defense in this elo, you're going to be able to, again, have a solid offense with muscle memory, but also focus on your opponent for strong defenses, which is going to make you an overall powerhouse when you get to Diamond. So now we're in Diamond. What happens here? At Diamond, you already learned all the fundamentals and even all the masteries of all the previous ranks. You know everything about the game so far. You should know all your combos, your routes, your characters, and maybe even picked up other characters along the way. But the most important thing about Diamond is expanding your knowledge outside of 2XKO. Watching VOD review. You need to watch your own matches and watch pro matches to see what your team is doing. How is someone like Diaphone handling your team? How is someone like Leffen handling your team? Sonic Fox handling your team? You want to see exactly what other people are doing with their team to see if you could discover tech. There's always something that you can learn from watching your own team play, so just keep watching. For me, I play Vi Jinx, which I don't see a lot of pros doing, assuming Jinx is outshadowed by Teemo now for a lot of players. It's really hard to find matches, so when I do see a Jinx or do see a Vi, I'm really interested and I watch and take notes wherever I can. Some tips for Diamond outside of the VOD reviews. I want you to start optimizing all your combos. So what that means is if you were just ending in super all the time, I want you to start considering, if it doesn't kill, maybe saving your meter for a solid setup or mix up, or maybe unblockable. Maybe ending that combo in a limit strike would be better for you. If you're Warwick, for example, can you optimize a combo to get more bloodlust? Or if you're Teemo, can you do your shroom loop so you could get more shrooms mid combo? All this to say too, I want you to start mastering set play. So if I get a hit on Jinx here, I'm calling Vi, but then I'm calling Jinx back in so I could get this corner setup, just like how we talked about. and then now this is a very hard situation. They're at half health, and I'm about to get another full combo off of this grab. I want you to just start optimizing everything that you can. At this rank, you should also be very aware of all your meter, your break meter, your assist cooldowns, and your super meter. You should be very aware of when you'll get your meters. So for example, if you're in the middle of a Vi combo, you should know like, okay, I'm not gonna get level 2 here. Or if I use my super, now I'm at 0 and I'm not going to have parry available or another super to do this, maybe I won't use super there. You should be very aware of your meter, how much you should have when you're close to level 3 and when you could spam it, all that good stuff. And you should have also had such a mastery with your characters that you're able to do like these cheeky like setups and cross-ups. Things that will like just be super slimy that only somebody with mastery of the character can do. So, you know, things that'll really throw your opponent off. You're gonna see that all the time in this rank, so you should have your own tools as well. And also, since you have a master of the game, you can also play with any duo and be successful because you both will know what you're doing, and it's so much fun at this rank to play duo. I think it's like the most fun starting at diamond and up because both of you guys understand what's going on, when to break for each other, when to assist. You might even be able to finish off each other's combos. I matched with a random before in a lobby, and that's exactly what we were doing. He set me up, I set him up. We didn't follow each other up perfectly, but it was so much fun. I loved it. We have masters up next. Quite literally, you mastered everything about the game. You are a master of 2x KO, essentially. You just have some polishing up to do with player to player. You have to perfect everything. Not only are you perfecting your craft even more, making sure you don't drop combos like ever, you understand exactly what to do. You're even able to spectate a match and commentate off of the match to know what happens next. That's the level you're at when you come to master, and the biggest thing is just fighting against other players and just outplaying the opponent rather than outplaying the game or yourself or the character. So at Masters, you have the potential to beat everyone, literally everyone, even the pros. Potential is a strong word. I'm not saying you're gonna, oh, I'm Master, I could go ahead and beat Leffen. Like, that's probably not gonna be realistic. You have the potential to learn to get there. Once you hit Masters, like, you can have the mindset like, yo, I'm actually gonna grind this game and go pro. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about in Grandmasters. At Masters, I want you to start entering online tournaments because this is where you're going to get your best experience. It's no longer from just ranked game or casual games or just from playing with friends. You need to enter online tournaments and have that competition going, get that sweat going, understand what it's like to play at like a super high level. So start entering tournaments. Finally, at Grandmaster, congrats. You made it to the highest level of the game as a normal human. What I mean by that is if you look at the leaderboard, the top 100 is Challenger, right? At the very bottom, this dude has 1,079 RP. Bro, I'm getting like 3 RP per win. And I only have 12 right now. Like, I just started. I just got to Grandmasters and I played like 1 ranked match and I stopped. That's it. There is no human virtual way I can even get to 1,000. And the bar is only going to increase. So yeah, it's not possible. I have a job, I have a family, I have a girlfriend, I'm making these videos. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get to Challenger unless I just quit life and just grind it. So that's what I mean. If you're in Grandmasters, I want you to just take this as your highest accomplishment, and I just want this to be the standard for everyone moving forward. Just take Grandmasters as like the true highest rank, because Challenger is meant for like the no lives of the game, you know? If you have time to grind, then you can go ahead and hit Challenger, but just be proud that you're Grandmasters. You made it to the highest rank. You did it. The journey to get here probably was filled with a ton of Yasuo players, a ton of Echo mix-ups, a ton of Teemo spam, ton of violence and struggle, probably throwing your controller and all that good stuff, right? But at this point, you truly mastered 2x KO. You're just as good as anyone else, and I feel like they should raise the cap to like top 500 maybe. I think that'll be more doable. Either way, you should feel very honored that you're here in Grandmasters, because it's just the top peak of the game. At this rank, tier lists start mattering. 2x KO in general, the tier list doesn't matter like so much. Literally win with anyone, even though some people have way more neutral skips and benefits than others. In reality, if you're good at the game, you're good at the game. You're gonna beat your opponent. If you want to grind to Challenger, you need to consider major sacrifice. Like, you're going to have to sit there and grind for hours and days at a time. The bar is going to keep moving higher, so you need to outplay the bar. It says 1,079 RP now. That's probably going to go up in like a week. So if you really want to hit Challenger, just keep doing what you're doing, but it's more about quantity rather than quality. You have to not only win, but you have to play a ton of games and win them all. So at this point, that's obviously not doable for most people. So here is an actual tip if you're grandmasters. This is where you want to consider either going pro if you're a youngin and you're ready to do that, but consider going to tournaments. In Masters, I said you can start going to tournaments, but now, like, do it for real. Go to every tournament that we have. We have 2 Go Tuesdays on Tuesday, Breakout Series on Tuesday, TNS on Thursdays. Locals are having tournaments now. There's a bunch of other small venues. So many people bought my tournament overlays, like dozens of people. So I know that there's tournaments happening all over the place. Join them online, go to your locals, go to majors. And then the other one is content creation. If you're grandmasters, you have the knowledge of literally everything in this game. Even if you haven't touched the character, you understand how the character works over all the new players. You have something to give, so make sure to give your knowledge to the community. Help a duo, help somebody learn the game, help everyone that you can. And lastly, Challenger. If you're in Challenger, the only thing I got to say to you is that you need to go beyond 2xKO. And what I mean is you also need to do the whole pro player thing, tournament thing, content creation. Outside of that, you need to monetize because you spent a crap load of time grinding this game to get to Challenger. You need to start working on your monetization. Make this a job. Make the time that you spent an investment. Get sponsorships. Start streaming. Get monetized. Sell a product. Have people gravitate to you. Have people say, hey, here's how I hit Challenger. Here's my proof. Twitch stream of me playing in Challenger game. You need to start doing this and invest in the equipment to start helping you out so you can make some money off of this. And because you're at a top player, you have a voice. Unlike a ton of people in this community that are just, they say stuff and it gets lost in the crowd. You have a voice because you are Challenger. You can go ahead and say something to Riot Games. They will listen to you because you're like, hey, I've grinded this many games. Here's my feedback. You can say something about the community. You could give your thoughts. Make sure it's not some dumb shit that people be saying on Twitter. Say something actually productive that's going to help the community. You have a voice. You should use it. Use your power wisely and help out the lower ranks too. Honestly, you should spread your knowledge and really help people. Start a coaching plan. That's what I plan on doing now that I'm Grandmasters. I'm gonna have my coaching series coming in 2026. So yeah, I definitely plan on having a ton of monetization plans. I don't plan on going to Challenger. Maybe one day, that'll be nice, but. So there you have it. Every single tip that you're gonna need for every rank in 2xKO. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.
Drop the ego, yeah, we checking the stats. You tryna play up the mole, I'm laying the traps. Caught you mashing on the wake up, rookie mistake. Now I'm breaking